What is good, everyone? Dayton fans, enjoy the 45-minute drive back. Drive safely. Bearcats get the win over the Dayton Flyers on this beautiful Tuesday night in Cincinnati. Final score 74 for the Cats, 62 for the Cincinnati Bearcats. This is Chatterbox Bearcats. We're brought to you by Martino's, the best bar on the campus of the University of Cincinnati, or steps away from the campus of the University of Cincinnati, I should say. Best place pregame, postgame. We host our watch parties there. 2-foot monstrosity sandwiches that will need a fork and knife and potentially a cot somewhere stored in Martino's, but they got video games. They got electricity. It is the place to be. It's steps away from campus. It's vibes that fire up your day or your night. Perfect for UC Bearcats games. There was some good. There was some bad. Let's start with the good. How many turnovers did UC have?
24. 24. They have
and 14
and a half, though.
That's the good.
14 and a half.
24 and 1 by 12. That is the good, man. I guess the biggest takeaway would be Day Thomas, who had 20 points tonight and did it from the charity stripe, got there 12 times, knocked down all 12. How about UC? 62% for the free throw line. We'll take it.
That was chaos, man. That was pure chaos. And it looks like, Chuck, I was checking the stream. We're vertical on YouTube.
God,
I don't know. I don't know why. But it's it's an analogy to the game that we just watched. It was pure chaos, turning the ball over like crazy. When they actually got shots up and took care of the ball, ever heard of a pump fake, guys? I mean, just telegraphing every pass. The turnovers were absolutely insane. When they actually took care of the basketball, they looked like a competent basketball team. And they took care of business. And Dayton was scrappy as hell, man. I mean, credit to their defense. I mean, they were all over the place, active hands, jumping into passing lanes. They have that exotic, full court press they were throwing out there. So they got some athletes out there. I'm just hoping Dayton might actually be good. I know they didn't look good against like UMBC, but maybe they're good. Maybe that's it, because we looked pretty sloppy for 35 minutes of this thing?
Yeah, I mean, we put up 45 shots compared to Dayton's 62. Not good, man. Out-rebounded them by 10. Efficient from the floor, 46%, 47% from three. But again, it's the PTSD of what we saw last year. UC was so damn sloppy, and it just goes right back in to this season. Wasn't from the play of Kerr Kriisa. I mean, he is UC's number one facilitator right now. He had 8 assists final. Did have 5 turnovers, though. So right as I'm saying, it wasn't because of the play of Kerr Kriisa. It was literally because of the play with Kerr Kriisa, along with Baba Miller, who had 2 right out of the gate. Wasn't really his night. And the fact that it wasn't Baba's night and he can go for 8, 10, and 2, just miss out on a double-double. I mean, it shows you the talent that he has. I think one of the big talking points, though, to start would be that Tyler McKinley had the nod late in the game over Cham. And Tyler McKinley looks legit, man. Like Mustafa Cham, he's got competition from a freshman. I mean, Tyler McKinley looks like he knows how to play basketball at this level.
Yeah, I am surprised, man. Like, we watched him at Walnut Hills right in Cincinnati. I didn't think he would just be an immediate impact guy. He's doing a lot of just the little stuff that you love to see, man. And he only played 13 minutes. You know, the stat line isn't crazy. He had 4 points, 3 boards, and assist. But he is just a legitimate 5 in this league. I mean, granted, we played 3 games, played against Dayton, but I have no issues with him backing up Mustafa Cham right now. And Cham, I want a little bit more impact from him. Everybody talking about the draft boards. I think you saw the list of NBA teams that were in attendance tonight, probably for Mustafa, probably for Sean Abayev, and maybe for a little bit of Baba Miller action. But Mustafa had 4 blocks tonight. I'll take that. He only had, I think, 1 block in the first 2 games. Finally, we're getting a little bit of rim protection from him, but what a good problem to have. We didn't see that with Tillery. He got yanked pretty quickly, had 2 turnovers right off the bat when they were doing the press thing. And I think Wes Miller was like maybe not a key shot flip out.
I'm talking to a damn robot, Houdini. Call Spectrum and tell him to get out there. I mean, good God. It's year 3 of this program, and the Spectrum people are still messing with your cables. You look good, by the way. Frozen on the screen, healthy smile. Houdini, who knows what happened? His dog Debo may have gotten to the wire, so I'll just be staring at Houdini's smiling face for the rest of the night. Not quite BYU from 2023. That'll be an all-time show for the rest of the time. But I'm talking to myself until my co-host joins me on the program today. Sean Abayev, 14 points, got the scoring started early, a deep step back three to begin, then goes with a little NBA showtime, couple nice jams like we saw in that Michigan game, then finishes with another three, fouled on a three-point play. Tell you what, if you have plans to play with Sean Abayev in 2K when he's inevitably in the league, good luck. I mean, that's going to be a hard shot to time up on 2K 26, 27. I forget what year we're in. Damn. Houdini comes in and just leaves me hanging out to dry. He'll be back, though. I know that for a fact. All right, let's run through the box score. We mentioned 8 and 10 for Baba Miller. Mustafa Cham had 5, 7, and 4 blocks in the game today. Day Thomas had 23 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 turnovers. Sean Abayev had 14 points, 3 rebounds. So Abayev has already gone for 18 and 14 in 2 of his first 3 games of the season. We'll take that. Kriisa had 9. Tyler McKinley had 4, 3, and 1. Zella played 2 minutes, didn't do anything. Jordy Rodriguez played 5 minutes, did not do anything. Houdini mentioned Tillery got the early yank. He played 5 minutes. Sincere Harris, he's a massive storyline of this early season everywhere. He had 8 points, 5 rebounds, couple of assists, and a couple of turnovers, but 6 of 8 from the free throw line and missed a few late. So you will take that from him. And then Jalen Celestine had 18 minutes of playing time, hit 6 points on the box score, couple of threes. The stroke looks nice. Baba Miller found him once, using his length to just see over the top. And welcome back, Houdini.
I blame the vertical stream. It made my computer just, have an aneurysm right there. We're back.
So for those of you that don't know, well, I missed whatever you were saying, but it was points moot. I picked it up. But for whatever reason on YouTube stream tonight, it says vertical/horizontal dual stream recommended. And whenever you see recommended, you do it, right? Like I go to a restaurant and I say, what do you recommend? And they say, oh, you want to get the boar's head. And I get the boar's head and it comes out with eyes. And I'm like, why the fuck did I get the boar's head? Because he recommended it. I do the same thing on YouTube. And tonight it screwed me over royally, apparently, with this vertical stream. But enough of that. Want to get into Sean Abayev, man, who had 14 points in his 3rd collegiate game. He's now scored 18 in one game, 14 in another. This is more of what we thought we'd see from Abayev. And frankly, I wish I would have seen more of him. Only 19 minutes, by far the least of all the starters.
Well, a lot of it has to do with foul trouble, man. I think he fouled out, right?
I didn't even know he was in foul trouble.
Yeah, Sean Abayev fouled out. And there's a big talking point, and we'll get into Sean Abayev in a second. Big talking about on like UC Twitter was shortening the rotation. And he started to do that. You saw like Jordy Rodriguez come in, Tillery, like I mentioned, kind of get yanked pretty quickly. But then it's like, how do you shorten the rotation when you got like 4 of your, top 7 guys with 3+ fouls? We got to stop fouling. And that's not to say the ref show wasn't a big part of this. I mean, let the boys play a little bit. But that's why you're seeing a low minute total for Sean Abayev. They ended up having to put Celestine in for him, which, obviously is a drop off from the offensive side. But this was a great game from Sean Abayev. After that dud we saw, apparently he was dealing with a little bit of the flu against Georgia State. Had to get some, either that or a Woody's night out. He was getting fluids before the game, so we're not sure. But this was an awesome game from him, man. Awesome. I don't know if we win this game without Sean Abayev playing.
The bench gave us 20 points. So 6 from Celestine, 8 for Sincere Harris, 4 for Tyler McKinley. What do you think of Sincere Harris, Buck Harris, as we call him, coming off the bench for this year's team?
I like it. It just brings energy to that second unit. And I think that we are going to see them shrink the rotation a little bit, but he's one of our top 5 players. I don't think that's arguable just from a defensive standpoint. And he's getting to the rack pretty well. Now, I know he had a little bit of optimism for his 3-point shooting. It does certainly not look there. I mean, he's not even close when he's shooting that 3 ball, but credit to him because he's still getting by guys and they're giving him 3 or 4 feet. I want him to slow down just a tad. I feel like he's going to get injured. I don't know what they said. The turbo on Dayton, what was his name? that Lily Durkak, the white dude with kind of the mid-top fade, he ran right into his leg at the very end of the game, and he came out. He was holding his knee. I hope that's not a serious injury, but he puts himself in a little bit, too much in harm's way just from an injury standpoint. But I mean, that's kind of who Buck Harris is, man. He creates chaos. He's all over the floor. He does everything.
It's crazy because he goes 1 for 6, and usually you see a box score that looks like that, and you say that's a rough game. But I mean, he just does it so many different ways. It's not pretty by any means from Buck Harris, but it is balls to the wall, 1,000 miles per hour at all time. And that's how Wes Miller wants these guys to play this year. He wants fast speed. We heard Terry Nelson say it so many times tonight. What Dayton does, they cause some chaos. And since he clearly struggled with the chaos tonight, turning it over a whopping 24 times. Disgusting. What is it about this team that consistently causes them to turn it over so much? And then offensively, consistently causes so much confusion on that side of the ball, where it just seems like the spacing always lacks, no matter who they have out there during this Wes Miller era. Spacing always sucks, man.
It really does. I mean, granted, this team is really good in transition. They are really, really good when they get that ball up and down the floor quickly. We saw that. That's really the reason they were able to blow this lead up to 12 or 14, I think might have been the biggest lead. But that half-court offense is another problem. It's been a problem for Wes his entire career here at UC. So what is the answer? I'm not sure. I know he's trying to do the 8-second or less offense. Maybe that'll help a little bit, just chucking stuff up. But the half-court offense is bad, and the turnovers, again, it's like Groundhog's Day, just sloppy. And when you have Kirk Kriisa, you're going to have the assist that you saw, some of the behind-the-back, no-look stuff. You're also going to get the other passes we saw where he's thrown it out of bounds, does it behind the back with 50 seconds left to absolutely nobody. You're going to get the good and the bad with him. I just wish he cut down on the, fantastic assist play just a little bit, because we can't afford to turn the ball over 24 times. I mean, I was looking at the record. I was trying to find the record of most turnovers that we've had, and it was last year, at least according to ChatGPT.
Was it that West Virginia game? Iowa State.
Okay. 30.
Oh, God.
30. So
you sure that wasn't 2 years ago? Are you sure that wasn't the one a couple of years ago where we literally couldn't get it over half court at Fifth Third Arena?
It might. You're right. It might have been.
Last year we only played them once, right? And it was the game where Jizzle went crazy, and I don't feel like we turned it over that many times. But
actually, you're right. It's got to be the 2 years ago then, because there's no way, because we were in that game last year.
Yeah,
you're not in the game. You had 30.
The one a couple of years ago sticks out. We legit could not get the ball over half court. So we'll see, man. This team has some handlers, so I don't understand why it's so difficult consistently. But it was a bunch of dudes. Baba 4, 3 for Day-Day, 3 for Abayev, 5 for Kirk Kriisa. Zella had a turnover. Rodriguez had a couple. Keyshawn Tillery had a couple. Sincere Harris had a couple. Celestine turned it over once. So as much as the Cats got just an abundance of different dudes involved with 8 guys scoring, they also had 9 guys turn it over today. So not great. What was great was the 3-point shooting, 9 of 19 overall. That's good for 47%. You will absolutely take that. I was in the middle of saying actually and absolutely, and I went with absolutely. And I think I like that word. Absolutely. Coin it.
Absolutely.
Day-Day
Thomas, that. Man. Let's keep this in mind. We're talking about a guy that wasn't known for 3-point shooting when he came over from JUCO. Shot 40% last year. And before the season started, I'm like, if he can even get close to that, that just opens up a whole nother fold for this offense. And he was shooting 50% coming into this game, another 2 for 3 night from 3. That's a huge weapon. If he can shoot it at a 40% clip, man, and we're talking about our other shooters, and Day-Day Thomas sometimes gets forgotten about, but he's the number 1 3-point shooter on this team right now. So credit to him, man, because he's hit some big ones too in big moments, especially tonight. That one, what was it? The Day-Day Thomas 3, then a Kirk Kriisa 3, then a lob to Baba Miller that got the fans going nuts. Apparently the refs couldn't even hear the whistle because Fifth Third was just going ballistic. So you love to see that, man. You love to see it.
This win's big because this non-con, you have Georgia, you have Clemson. Xavier's terrible. You can't lose at Centos Center. How many did they lose by Santa Clara last night? 30?
I
Who's the
think
final
it ended up
tally
being
that one?
like 25. I don't know. It was
It's ugly.
disgraceful. Richard Pitino still has yet to put out his damn report card. You haven't even made game 3 and you're not putting the report card out. You can't do the bit and quit the first time you lose.
It's all left.
I need the report card from Richard Pitino.
Well, they suck. You better beat them and snap that skid that's gone all the way back to 2002 at this point. So 23 years and hopefully, Don, I'm calling it now, Cats should win at Cintas. I still can't say they will win because it's the Cintas Center and it gives us nightmares and the yips consistently. But Clemson, that's a tough game on a neutral site. Georgia's always one of those teams. It's just like they're never good, but they're always pesky in the non-con and they beat us from time to time. And then Louisville, if you beat Louisville, we're in a great spot, but you would expect to lose that one. So this is just one of those games where you figured the Cats would lose 1, maybe 2 in the non-con. And if you lost to Dayton, we're talking 2 or 3. And that's where it gets a little bit ugly because I don't think this year's Dayton team is going to be that great. And to lose to them on your home court is potentially a quad 2, maybe quad 3 loss, which you don't want at this point in the season. Wes Miller and the jacket polo combo. Thoughts on that? He ditched the jacket about 45 seconds into the game and just went polo. And I'm thinking to myself, that's like me in high school with a clip-on tie. You know, you throw it on, you got to wear the tie to school. And as soon as teacher leaves the room, you're just ripping that thing off. I respect Wes for doing it, but very pointless, Wesley. Very pointless with the jacket this season.
I've never been a polo guy with a jacket over top. It just feels like you're trying to do 2 different things at the same time. And he rips it off within like 4 minutes. What's the point? He had a hideous one against Georgia State. He had like a checkered one. It just wasn't working. Wes, he coached his ass off. He was pissed off early. His hair was disheveled by the end of the game. But hey, man, defensively, I will give them credit. They looked a lot better than they have the first 2 games defensively. I mean, they held Dayton to 32% from the field. Granted, Dayton missed a shitload of wide open threes. This game is totally different. They pulled a UC. They shot 2 of 26 from 3, 7.7%.
Oh my God.
They knocked down a couple of those. And they had some good looks too. So, I mean, a lot of it just had to do with Dayton missing shots. But, hey, a win's a win. You win by 12 at home. We saw, Santa Clara beat the brakes off Xavier at home. A win's a win at home. You're playing against a Dayton team that I think could definitely win the A-10. And that's what I'm hoping. Again, I hope Dayton's like kind of good because I thought Latong is a really good player. Montgomery. I mean, Keontae Jones was all over the place defensively. Like, I feel like they have some guys on that team.
What do you think of Mustafa Cham? Is he a guy?
He has to be a guy. Like I said, I want more from Mustafa Cham. I know he's not going to be the guy that, puts up 20 points on the offensive side, but I want a little more activity. I mean, what do you have? 5 tonight? 5 and 7. At least he had a little bit more on the rebounding side and 4 boards. But I want, my fiance to watch the game and go, who the hell's that guy? Like she didn't even mention Mustafa Cham tonight. He needs to be a guy that when you watch the game, you immediately know who he is because he's impacting it in so many different ways. So I think the sky's the limit for the guy. He's still a sophomore. He's super young. He's clearly got the body for it. But we need a little bit more out of Mustafa if we want to be competitive in the Big 12.
I'm pretty sure he's making as much money as like Al Horford this year in the NBA. So that's the thing. When NIL got brought into play and you're plucking someone away from UCF and he's on draft boards and highest paid player on the team, all these different things, you're just expecting him to give you a ton. But what he does give you is a different look than Aziz to some degree with him being able to knock down threes. Now, tonight he didn't try them. And there's one thing that's very similar to Aziz, 1 of 4 from the free throw line. That's going to kill you because there is the Haka Mustafa play that comes in later in the season if he's legit shooting 40% from the charity stripe, which I believe it's been about that. I'll give you the exact number just for journalistic integrity. Let's see. You got a guess for me, by the way?
I'm looking at it. It's ESPN's not updated yet, but it's probably
8
like
of
40.
18. Yeah, 8 of 18. Do the math there. It's like 42%. So
no, and that's going to be a big problem, dude. I know he shot. That's why I'm confused. He shot 67% last year at UCF, and it doesn't look good. You are not confident. And some guys, they just miss. They roll off the front of the rim or something. His shot at the free throw line does not make you feel great. So that could come be a problem. And Baba Miller too. I mean, he was pretty bad from the line tonight as well. So you got to make free throws, man. You just have to. And time again, it's the turnovers and it's the free throws with UC basketball. And it seems like we're, reading the same story yet again this year.
So UC went into conference play last year in a good spot. We all felt great. I'm pretty sure they were ranked going into Kansas State. They had beaten Xavier. They had taken care of business against Dayton. They lost that game to Villanova. But aside from that, it was a pretty good non-conference slate. UC's gotten off to a expected start of 3-0 and should be 4-0 with Mount St. Mary's coming up. But they do have some tough ones. I mentioned they got Louisville on the 21st. So 10 days from this Dayton game, they'll take on the number 12 team in the country at Heritage Bank Arena, the beautiful Heritage Bank Arena, right on the banks of the Ohio. Then it's NJIT, that's New Jersey Institute of Technology. I feel good about that game. Eastern Michigan, based on the transitive property of how bad they beat Georgia State, they may be tough. Then it's Tarleton State. It's on the road at Xavier, always fun. Georgia, Alabama State, Clemson, Lipscomb, and then you get into conference play. If you can somehow get through this entire slate, and it's not somehow, it's expected, losing just that game to Louisville, you feel great. You feel great with a 500 spot in the Big 12 getting you in pretty easily.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to lose one game through this stretch. I think it's very doable, though. Who knows what Georgia and Clemson really are? Those are the two wild card games. Like, we know Louisville is going to be really damn good. We know Xavier is going to be really damn bad. Again, we haven't won there since I was 6 years old, though. So we'll see what happens. Throw the record books out, as they say. But yeah, you would feel awesome if they lost one game. And really what I'm looking at, I mean, it's going to be what? Game 5 of the season against Louisville on a neutral site. Louisville is probably going to pack that damn arena because they're psychopaths. So it'll almost be a pseudo road game, even though it's 15 minutes from campus. But you're going to find out who this team is. Like, you really can't have a game where you come out and get the doors blown off you. We can't have a Utah UC game. All right. We just can't have it. Because that'll really leave a bad taste in your mouth because you don't play anybody until Xavier after that game. So you got to come out with a fight against the Louisville Cardinals and Pat Kelsey and another face-off with our guy Ryan Conwell. That'll be a fun one, man. I think this team, like, they have the athletes to compete against pretty much anybody. It's like, can
this
they put
is
it
the
all
question,
together? Can they
dude?
take
Read
care
the
of the
screen.
ball?
Read the screen.
Yes, it's Jalen Haynes. That was the only guy that had a pseudo back to the basket game. Chum, at least to what Aziz was, he does have a little bit of touch around the rim. So that's at least a semblance of a back to the basket game. And McKinley might be our best raw, just straight up back to the basket scorer, which probably isn't a good sign, being, damn near basically a freshman. And we paid, $10 billion for Mustafa, but he's just not a post guy. Like, I mean, we've seen that.
And that's the question.
Yeah, I don't know.
From Matt, it's why is Wes so intrigued with the Aziz and Chom types? And then Justin chimes in, what are we doing? Yes, a win's a win, but it's looking like the exact same team. Baba is the new Mitchell. I would disagree. I think Baba is way more skilled than Mitchell. He just had a rough night. And the handles were a little shaky early, especially when he's bringing it up the floor. It almost looked like he carried it once. And I was just kind of like, ooh, that scares me against better competition where his handles need to be a little tighter. But again, you don't have to ask him to bring the ball up the floor. The fact that he can grab a rebound and bring it up the floor is very intriguing. We have not had that. And he says the only difference is Wes has decided to play like I do in 2K. We definitely play very interestingly. The offense that Wes has decided on is very much go out there, beat your man off the dribble, and drive and kick. It doesn't feel like there's a lot of sets, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that I don't think you can play inside out.
No, that's big, and that's why you saw Jalen Haynes shooting in warmups. I really hope that there's some miracle scenario where we can get him back. Not that he is just a traditional back to the basket scorer, but if you watch his highlights, he can do a little bit of everything. He can facilitate. You can get it to him in the high post, things like that. We don't really have a guy like that. So you're going to rely on really good three-point shooting. That's probably what the recipe is in transition basketball. That's not to say that it can't work. It's going to be a lot harder. And, knowing how Wes's offenses have performed, it doesn't leave you a great taste for when we start playing Big 12 basketball if we're going to be able to score in the half court. So it's certainly something to be alarmed with, but we're 3-0, guys. Justin, we're 3-0. Let's at least be optimistic until we don't have to be. All right? Is that
Amen,
fair?
man. Let's just keep winning. This looked better than Georgia State, man. To beat Georgia State 74-64 and then take it up a notch with a 74-62, almost an identical score tonight against Dayton, but better. You'll take that. I mean, Dayton's always been tough. Even in the Bob Huggins years, Dayton would come in from time to time and would give you fits for a half, and it never really felt like UC was in trouble, aside from that 1 point with about 8 minutes left where Dayton cut it down to 2, and Cincy responded with a 10-0 run within like 90 seconds. So pretty much just playing with your food all night. Now, there is the double-edged sword and the catch-22 of saying, hey, UC cleans up the turnovers a bit. They turn it over 18 instead of 25. It's probably a 20-point game. And the other is if Dayton knocks down more than 2 of 26, they go 6 of 26. We're talking about a game that may still be going on in overtime right now. So that's all I got. Player of the game brought to you by Martino's is Day Thomas. The senior goes for 20 points today. A honorable mention to Kirk Ariza, who had 8 assists and 9 points in the ball game today. Final thoughts, Houdini. And by the way, Louisville's up 4 right now on UK which is weird. I feel like they usually play on like a December or January Saturday, not November 11th, but hey, to each their own. Louisville's up 4 with about 3 minutes and 35 seconds. So you can check that in the morning if you're listening to the audio podcast. Final thoughts on the way out of here.
Keep winning. Keep winning games. Louisville, you're going to have to play a little bit better than you did tonight to compete against Louisville, who's currently in a battle against UK, and there's probably
we got Mount
NBA
St. Mary's.
Guys.
Yeah, don't
Mount St. Mary's. And shout out to Justin O'Neill. He threw us $2, Chuck. You want to throw that on there?
What do you ask? He just gave us $1.99. Hell yeah.
Thank you, Justin.
We
appreciate it. And I just for the fan base, and you can just tell that this team has been so bad for the last 4 years that we're now so quickly to turn on this team. It's been a little rough. Remember, it's a brand new roster. I do think objectively the players on this roster are better than last year. We'll see if they can start to gel, start to figure out rotations, things like that. But let's at least be positive while we still can. Final thoughts.
While we still can. No, we're not going in with the mindset of this is going to be disastrous, but there are some signs that say that it could get rough in the Big 12, specifically the turnovers and the lack of post play once again.
Tournament team, I'll say it.
I hope so. I hope so, man. This is Chatterbox Bearcats. You could find it on YouTube. You could find it wherever you get your audio podcasts. And to the Dayton Flyers, they're driving back with an L. They dropped their first game of the season. They're 2-1. The Bearcats are 3-0, 74-62, the final score.